In a small town in California, where the sun always seemed to shine gently over the hills, there was a garden that everyone admired. It was filled with roses of every color, red, pink, yellow, and even rare shades of purple. People often stopped their cars just to look at it. The garden belonged to Clara Benson, a 90-year-old woman who had lived in the same house for nearly 70 years. Clara was small and frail, with silver hair tied in a neat bun and eyes that sparkled with quiet intelligence. Most of the neighbors only saw her from a distance. She rarely spoke to anyone, but her garden told a story that words could not. Every morning, Clara would walk into her garden with a wicker basket in her hand. She watered the plants, pruned the roses, and carefully removed the weeds. Even during the hottest summer days or the coldest winter mornings, the garden always flourished. People often wondered about her secret. How could a garden bloom so perfectly year after year, with such vibrant flowers, in a place where other gardens often struggled? One afternoon, a curious young journalist named Megan Thompson came to the town to write a story about beautiful gardens. She had heard about Clara's remarkable roses and wanted to learn more. Megan knocked on Clara's front door. The old woman opened it slowly, looking at her visitor with cautious curiosity. "Hello, ma'am," Megan said politely. "My name is Megan. I've heard about your garden, and I would love to write a story about it. May I come in?" Clara studied her silently for a moment, then nodded. "Very well, but you must promise not to touch anything." Megan smiled. "Of course." Clara led her into the garden. Megan's eyes widened in awe. Each rose looked perfect. The colors were richer than any photo she had ever seen. Bees and butterflies hovered gently, as if the garden were alive in a special way. "Your garden is incredible," Megan said. "Do you have a secret?" Clara chuckled softly.
"I suppose I do."
"But it's not what you think." Megan leaned closer. "Please tell me." Clara sat on a wooden bench beneath a large oak tree. She gestured for Megan to sit beside her. "Many years ago," Clara began, "this garden belonged to my husband, Richard. He loved roses more than anything. He planted them for me when we first moved into this house. Each rose had a meaning: red for love, yellow for friendship, pink for gratitude. There were even rare purple ones that represented hope." Megan listened intently. Richard had passed away 50 years earlier. Clara had been heartbroken. She could have let the garden fade, as so many people might have, but she couldn't. "Every day," Clara continued, "I care for these roses because they remind me of him. And also because I promised him that no matter what happens, this garden would never die. It would live on, not just for me, but for everyone who walks by and stops to notice." Megan looked around. "That's beautiful. So it's not just gardening, it's love." Clara smiled softly.
"Yes."
"Love, memory, hope. That's what keeps it alive." As they spoke, a little girl from the neighborhood ran into the garden, holding a sketchbook. "Can I draw your roses, Mrs. Benson?" she asked eagerly. Clara nodded. "Of course, dear. Just be gentle." The girl began sketching quickly, inspired by the colors and scents surrounding her. Megan watched as Clara moved slowly among the flowers, carefully trimming one that had grown too tall, speaking to it softly, as if it could hear her words. "What's remarkable," Megan said, "is that these roses bloom perfectly, even though the soil isn't particularly rich and the weather can be harsh." Clara laughed gently. "That's the funny part. There's no secret fertilizer, no miracle soil, just patience and consistency. Every day, I do a little, and over the years, it adds up." Megan felt a wave of realization. So, it's like life, isn't it? Little acts of care, repeated every day, make something beautiful. Clara nodded. Exactly. The sun began to set, casting golden light over the petals. Megan snapped a few photos but realized no image could truly capture the magic. "Will you allow me to publish this story?" Megan asked. Clara hesitated for a moment, then said, "Yes. But remember, the garden is only beautiful because of love, not because anyone admires it. That's the real secret." Megan left the house that evening with a full notebook and a heart full of inspiration. In the weeks that followed, people in the town began visiting Clara's garden. Some just walked slowly along the path, inhaling the scents. Others sketched or took photographs. Clara continued her daily routine, quietly tending to her roses, smiling at each visitor, but never seeking recognition. And year after year, the garden bloomed, always vibrant, always alive, because love had planted its roots long before anyone else saw it. Some gardens survive storms and drought. Some survive neglect. But the garden that survives because of love, that one never dies.